Welcome to Alpha 13, squaddies. As you may have heard, the big news is that we're upgrading to Unreal Engine 4.21. But that's not all. Say hello to the Combat Engineer. Capable of awesome destruction, this new role is a specialist, focused on demolitions, sabotage, and construction. Ambushes and area denial will be the order of the day, as the engineer can deploy anti-tank mines as well as timed detonation charges. They're no slouch with a shovel either. Look to them to help speed up the construction and demolition of deployables. For the opposing forces, the sapper role will be taking on some of the responsibilities previously held by the scout. In addition to the combat engineer loadout, they will be able to lay improvised explosive devices, leaving the Blue 4 to second guess each assault. One last perk. These new roles will be able to clear the way by destroying vehicle wrecks, so there'll be no more getting stuck on bridges. Speaking of destroying things, Alpha 13 will bring the release of Destruction. This rush-style game mode will pit two teams against each other in the hunt for randomised caches. Attackers will have to locate and then destroy two caches per phase in order to proceed. Defenders simply have to stop them any way possible. Destruction isn't the only change coming to the way you play squad with this release. The Fog of War is being introduced to randomised AAS. When faced with the Fog of War, only your current objective will be available, and you'll need to take it down before you can move on to the next one. We're also making some tweaks and updates to Invasion, Insurgency and Skirmish modes. Check out the full patch notes on the squad blog for details. These new objectives and game modes are going to require some new tactics, and the first of these options is available to squad leaders only. Squad leaders will now be able to place a rally point remotely next to another squad leader's rally. While this will only be available if your squad leader is dead, it should increase your squad's ability to effectively support and reinforce other squads on the battlefield. And while you're making your way to the front, you may notice some new options available to existing kits. For example, militia and insurgent crewmen will now be able to wield the VZ61 Scorpion machine pistol. Its extremely compact nature makes this a deadly addition to these kits as a personal defence weapon. Should you find yourselves amongst the British Armed Forces in need of a little personal defence, you may want to equip the SA-80 bayonet, which has now replaced the M9 placeholder previously in use. No matter which side you're on, you'll be glad to hear that we've made some changes to the aim down scope or ADS speed in order to make it a bit more consistent when moving. We've also adjusted the acceleration and deceleration to make player movement a bit more responsive. Additionally, medics and light anti-tank roles will now have an optics variant available. The 3-man crew and a carrying capacity for 4, T-62 main battle tank will enter the fray for insurgent and militia forces, offering high explosive anti-tank, fragmentation and armour penetration sabo rounds, as well as a coaxial PKT machine gun. Its capabilities should not be underestimated despite the age of the platform. The addition of the new tank also brings an update to our component system, which now allows players to be able to cause track and wheel damage to vehicles. Generally speaking, most wheels can be taken down by small arms fire, while tracks and APC wheels will require something 50 caliber or larger. Tracks and wheels can be repaired, but until they are, they will cause the vehicle to lean towards that damaged component, as well as slow down or even become immobilized entirely. If you're more of the anti-vehicle type, you've got some explosive new options at your disposal as well. Russian, insurgent and militia forces will also be receiving the BRDM2 Spandrel in the Alpha 13 update. The Spandrel comes equipped with a wire-guided anti-tank system capable of delivering 5 missiles in rapid succession. And while certain to be a threat to enemy armour, drivers will need to remain agile in order to compensate for the vehicle's light armour. A counterpart to the Spandrel, the MATV tow variant will also make an appearance. Basically, a tow on wheels, it carries a few extra missiles and little else. Certainly not much in the way of armour. Veteran squaddies will be happy to hear that the Rocket Artillery Techie has also received some much needed love. Changes include moving the gunner camera to the rocket pod, adjusting the angle indicator and significantly reducing the minimum arming range of the rockets. Another upgrade coming to vehicles across squad includes the ability to request a kit. While light vehicles and tanks will be limited to crewmen, both APCs and IFVs will offer ground infantry kits, just as you'd request from an FOB ammo crate. This change enables all vehicles to have access to field repairs via the crewman's repair tool. Speaking of FOBs, there are some changes coming to deployables as well. First and foremost, Insurgent HAB placement rules have changed. Insurgents will now be able to place 2 HABs at each FOB radio, giving them more variety and mobility to get around the battlefield. Other deployables are also getting some love. We've loosened up the placement bound so items like razor wire can actually be connected to each other without gaps, which will help further improve HAB defense. And even better, we've included an often requested feature, which is the ability to rotate deployables using lean keys before placement. Last but not least, we are bringing some more UI changes to the game client. Be sure to visit our website for the complete patch notes. And there you have it, soldiers, a look at some of the major changes coming in Alpha 13. We'll see you on the battlefield. Thanks for playing squad. Offworld out.